Hi, and welcome to another episode of I can't even talk today. Sketch Sunday. And my name is Tracy Walker of the Scrapping Studio. And we are working our way through this 52 project recipe book. And today we are going to do project recipe 20, which we're going to do Pirate, which is from, ooh, that's a good question. It's one of those kid collections that just came out. And I think it's part of Epic Adventures. So it's part of the Epic Adventures. We are going to do the pirates today with the intention of I am going to use it for Disney paper for Pirates of the Caribbean. One year we all dressed up in pirate gear, like not costumes, but we had like pirate looking shirts, and then pants, and then hats. And so that we all bought at the Disney shop, of course. And so so it'd be perfect for those pictures. So this one, Project Recipe 20, which is on page 44, was originally done with the Barcelona scenes. But we are going to do it today with the Epic Adventures. And I'm going to this is some goldenrod cardstock for that. So now, with any sketch, you don't have to follow everything exactly. So what we're using is, so number one is going to be, I can pull this off, is this goldenrod paper. And we're going to cut that 5 by 12, and then we're going to cut it in half. And then the next one is going to be this pirate paper. We're going to cut 4.5 by 12. And so we'll pay attention to the cutting on that one. And then designer paper number 3 is all matte, so we'll either come back with different paper, I'm not really sure. And then we will need, I'm going to use the pirate or the skull and bones as part of this green strip that goes across. So that's going to be part of that. And then the last one is going to be this red, and it's going to be the top, the N, and the O. So we'll get those cut, and then my base is going to be used to just regular flat cardstock. So we'll put those aside for a second, and we will get started. So let's pull these off to the side. So we're going to need, according to our directions, we are going to need, cut that at 5 by 12. So first we're going to get a regular trimmer out. We're going to cut up. All right. That is going to be, throw that aside for now. And then the next one is going to be 4.5. So we have to pay attention to. This is going to be going the opposite way. So we want to make sure we cut this, and pull my sticky up. Cut this at 4.5, and then we're going to cut those down the middle. There's that, 4.5. Going to be some extra, and then let's cut the last one, and we need to make sure we pay attention to the direction on that one. So we want those stripes to go up and down. We're going to cut this at 2.5, and then another 2.5. Sometimes that thing glares. And then that is left over for now. All right, and then we'll go back and talk about and to see what we're going to do about the map. So now we want to use our decorative trimmer, and we're going to use this web, which is just that gentle that. And so we're going to cut those. We're going to do it in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch it right there. So then I'm lining it up there because kind of difficult to. All right. So now what I do is I start on the. I come in a little bit and start because sometimes it has a habit of ripping stuff. So, and we may have to cut another sheet because this is going to end up being upside down. Or, let's see, might have to do some thinking on that. All right, and then this one, like I said, I'm just going to put a little pinch in it and then go like that. So that's, and then I'm just going to bring it in and then start cutting it. There we go. A little bit. I need to put a new blade on this one. All right, so I got that. So the question is how we want to address that this guy is going to be upside down. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait, no. So this guy's going to be, essentially, it's going to be like, that's really weird that that is, yeah, it'll be okay. Maybe it just needs to flip around. That's what we needed to do. Okay. So essentially, it's going to be hidden like that. And then this guy can't really get it this way. So the question is what is so I could cut another 5, which is fine because we can, we can adapt and adjust. So let's cut another 5. Yeah, 5. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to do that. So then what we'll end up doing is we'll have 2 different ones and we can make a second. We can always make a second set. There we go. So this guy and this guy. So we'll have to make, and since this guy is hidden, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut. Like that. And see, this guy's just going to be hidden underneath it anyway, so it's not going to matter if it's short. All right, so we have adapted on that one. All right, so let's just see. And then these 2 guys can be done at the top. They're a little bit off, but see, then you can have this. And then we might need to trim, but we can use those for another spread. All right, so let's get these next. Get my little stickies off of there. Let's see if I can do a better job of cutting. It's better on the one end, but it'll be fine. All right. Now we've gotten this off a little bit. All right, let's see if we can. Never ever fails. All right, see if we can. Let's do a little bit of repo to adhere this down. I don't know, I think my dog is like standing outside looking woefully. Okay. Move this over just a tad more. Get the rest of this cut. Yeah. All right. We got one. All right. See if I get any better on the next one. I don't know about this. All right. There we go. Put those over there. Try this again. Ooh, that one actually worked out perfect. Huh. Fourth time is a charm. Or if you watch the other one of the other ones where I was cutting, it did not end well. All right. So let's see. Making this. All right. So we've got. All right. So let's get this guy adhered down. The bottom here. And the cardstock will just trim it at the end. Some of them are like a 16th of an inch longer than they should be. And so sometimes you just gotta make a little bit of a trim. Okay, so we got this guy on there. And then this side's gonna go at the top. And I always like to kind of put this like that. And then the skull and the bones. Let's see, they have it kind of not exactly centered, but like that. And then they have another thing going down the middle there. But actually, I don't think I'm going to do that just because I don't want to cover that up. All right, so let's do the other side. Let's see, this side it goes like that. And this one, we're going to have to just put, since he is a little bit chopped up. See, it's hidden. No one's going to know. And then I am out. Fix that in a second. All right. And then I'm going to tape running. Such an easy, just flip it out. And then, all right, let's see how pretty close we are. It's a little bit. I'm going to end up doing is, and we'll have to end up trimming because it's a little bit off. That's okay. So we're just going to match it up. Let's see how that may not match up. No. We'll just trim off the bottom when it's all said and done. Just like that. All right. Let's trim off a little bit of the bottom. Now, if you don't have the decorative trim, you could always just do this straight. I just picked this one because I felt like it was great because like waves, swell of the sea, that kind of thing. All right, I like this guy look crooked. I like repo, but it does sometimes take that up, but I'm just covering it back up. All right, comes up easily, but sometimes it takes the color with it. All right, we'll have to do a little trimming on that guy. This. That. All right, so they have, I'm gonna move, yes, that is right on the edge. Okay, I'm gonna trim this up a little bit. This means like a 16th of an inch. Yeah, like I said, they're just, sometimes they're just a little bit off. Go. Now we have those. Some more. Let's see what we're going to do about next. So we have, all right, they have their mats, and so they use another part of this as a this guy right here, which was paper A, which was the pirate. So we still have this part. We could use this as our journal box if we want to. But, what was the size of that? So it's a 6x3. Yes, that is. I don't know if I'd make it a 6x3. Let's see. We'll hold that off to the other side. So these are all 5x3. So really they're, I would call them 3.5x5. We're gonna go with 3.5x5 because they're not exactly, and that's, we could do 4x6s too. Let's see here. What's nice is, this is what's nice about having these cards. So I could say, do this. And this one can go here. And since I got that black, what I'll probably end up doing is using this as the white as the matte, because then I think it makes it pop really well. So we could do that like that. And we do the same thing over here. That's what's nice about repo, then we can kind of pop it up, line those up. Now, if I wanted to, I could do a 4x6 here, like this. And then we can take this guy and make him into, the question is do have it connect there? That's a good question. Just have a chunk here. A chunk there. I also have these. something like that. Okay. And we put treasure in the map like that. Then maybe, ooh, maybe we do this. We have the boat like that. And then do something like that. Kind of like that. I wish there was like more embellishments that came with this, but I don't think I separated the dinosaur ones out for the dinosaur. Okay, we got horseshoes, Shazam, a robot, robots, space, Superman, saddle up, oh, and cowboy. So no, there are no more pirate ones for that. Then I feel like, do I want to do this here? But I feel like it just gets lost. So no, do not want that there. And sometimes less is more, and that is okay for that. So now if you do need, let's say you do need more pictures, then I'm pretty sure I have more pictures than this on my Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I could do, take this off and add these on. So I've got some 3x4s. Can even make these go like that. Um, I'm gonna look and see if I do this size. And push. And I feel like that maybe, see here, I got a 3x3 card. This is what's nice about these cards. It can help me determine. Right, so let's say, I do really want that chip kind of in the swells like that. And maybe just have it like this. And then this can go up here. And this is more like, you can put Pirates of, that's going to be a lot. You could put a title right here where it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. Or we could just put Pirates, Pirates of the Caribbean would be, that's going to be a lot uh, to put on there. Let's see. There's even smaller. Let's see. Pushing this guy over. This is gonna just make me crazy. Doing this one, and maybe it goes like that. This guy goes up here. And then I feel like we'll maybe put this guy here. And these guys get tucked down here like this. Kind of like that. And then we've got the treasure and the map. Okay, we're going to tack these down. And then I can always go back and remove them and use them again. But like I said, I'll probably use these as the mats, which is nice because it's that nice white, heavy cardstock. Let's see if we can put that down there just like that. And then put him up here like that. And then we'll just put the ship right like that underneath the swell. That looks perfect. Okay. Like I said, I'm just using a little bit. So if I need to, I can go back and change things out. I can use them. If I'm going to use them as mats, I'll completely tack them down. But this gives me an idea. Let's go back on there. Press in the center. I need to remember to press in the center because that's where I put. And get this guy up as far as we can. And then have the treasure like that. And I am going to put that one up on the squares. All right. Up there. Let's see if I got another partial sheet that I should be, I should be using up before I start using a new one. This guy. All right. And I'll combine those here in a minute. All right. This one's taking, I'm not doing too bad. I feel like I just fiddled around with the design because it's just not a lot. And I'm like, I really don't have. Put him. I don't have like, oh, do I use barbed wire? But I don't feel like Pirates of the Caribbean had really barbed wire. Like the ride was pirates and it smelled like fire and well, they changed it since the last time I went there, but they like they were chasing the women and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, all right. So let's just get this stuff moved out of the way. And like I said, we got some parts to create more. So this one so there's 4, 8, 9. So there's 9 photos. And I mean, really, I could stick, one right there. If I really needed to. I could stick another guy in there. That kind of stuff. So I could put more up there, or I could just use it for journaling or a title. So, I also could do Pirates of the Caribbean in letters as well. So, well, thanks for joining me today on this episode of Sketch Sunday. Once again, my name is Tracy Walker, Creative Memories Advisor in Des Moines, Iowa. We did Project Recipe 20 on page 44 today. And if you are living in the Des Moines Metro, or even, in the Midwest, I'd love for you to join me for one of my events. I will put all the information below. Thanks. And